What are they? The Spectrum Sports Network down there in L.A. You know, Shasky, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Nobody's outraged about the Giants' loss yesterday as they dropped to 1-3 after the All-Star break. Blake Snell pitched fine. You know, Randy Rodriguez, that's a tough spot for him. You can talk about the pitch selection if you want to. That's a tough spot coming off his performance in Coors Field. I would like to see Duvall. I would have, go back to Tyler Rogers.
No.
I mean,
I'm
that's
glad you
the
bring
game.
up Duvall. That was the game.
That was the game.
That was the game. And so you've used Duvall in how many non-save situations this year?
And that to me is a safe situation.
Exactly. That was the most important part of the game.
I didn't know. I didn't realize that this is social media again. I was like, I wouldn't have put Randy Rodriguez in that spot.
He's had a rough go the last couple of weeks. Have you been watching? Like, I know you've been watching. And you know what? You're saying, like, today's not the day to lose your mind. No, today's not the day that you lose your mind. But I do want to lay this out. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Look, mathematically, could they win tonight? Absolutely. They're not winning tonight. They're not winning tonight. You got a couple of nice Blake Snell starts. Put him to the side. Yeah. This thing that they have a $200 million payroll. Let me read these names off. It's not like they've got they've got Roger Maris and Honus Wagner and Barry Bonds and Juan Marichal. Listen to this freaking $200 million payroll because I screenshot it to just laugh. They've paid Blake Snell basically $30 million this year. They've gotten 3 good starts.
Yeah.
That's $10 million a good start.
Hey, it's not bad.
Michael Conforto makes more money this year than anyone you know. $18 million. Who in sports is paying Michael Conforto $18 million?
Not only that, but you're going to platoon him. And what you've done is platoon him. You pull a mid-game and you play Ramos, and then he comes up and he strikes out. And it's like, look, you have to make a play with Luis Matos. He's a youngster. He's trying to find his way into major leagues. You either play him every single day against lefties and righties and let him play the field, or you just send him back to AAA Sacramento where he can play every day. He needs reps. He needs at-bats. Can't be platooning a young guy like Luis Matos. He's lost. I never see, this guy was NL Player of the Week a couple months ago when we're in Martinez and Copper Skillet. We're a long way away from him being the National League Player of the Week, and you're platooning him. Let him play.
And the poor guy, him and Ramos, who haven't played a lot alongside each other in the outfield on the big league level, they make a huge mistake. They make it they just do. But whatever. The Matos thing is you're so spot on. The kid should have played for 2 weeks. Let's just see what we have.
Yeah,
just give him a little runway. But I got to play Conforto because I paid him $18 million. Yeah. Matt Chapman making almost $17 million. Matt Chapman on the list of issues on this team, very low, though the guy is swinging a wet mop right now.
He is scuffling. I mean, he is, and this is, look, if you want to bring in a Matt Chapman, that's fine. But what you're going to get with Matt Chapman is a 230 to 240 average. He's a lifetime career, 240 hitter? Mm-hmm. He's batting 232. And right now, I'm just looking at the splits. I'm pulling up because without even looking at the numbers, I'm like, ooh, he is struggling at the plate. Well, in the month of July right now, you want to see these numbers? In the month of July, Matt Chapman is batting 175. 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 16 strikeouts, and 57 at-bats. Shasky, he's batting 175. His on-base percentage is under 300. It's at 299, and his OPS is at 778. Or excuse me, no. That's June. It's at 649 in the month of July. He's having an atrocious July at the plate. And you can't pull him out because you got nobody else to play third base. It's unbelievable.
But Bonte, he's one of the few I'm not going to go crazy spots. Taylor Rogers, you use him once, maybe twice a week. He's making $12 million. Jorge Soler, you gave him a 3-year deal, $10 million. You could have had Teoscar Hernandez on a 1-year deal. Teoscar Hernandez is having the season you were dying Jorge Soler to have.
21 jacks, 67 RBI.
For Hernandez.
And 3 for 4 yesterday. The game-winning hit. The home run off of Blake Snell. The home run derby champ.
He's got more home runs than the Conforto, Yaz, Slater combination. And if you want to throw Lamont Wade Jr. in there, you could throw him in there too.
What about first base? 7 home runs at first base.
Logan Webb making $8 million. That's value. Mike Yastrzemski. All those teams that are lining up to pay Mike Yastrzemski $8 million. And Mike Yastrzemski, I know last night not good, has been batting 400 over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Mike Yastrzemski for $8 million actually been a value play for the Giants. Defensively, Look, 0 for 3 yesterday. He had the hat
I don't
trick.
pay a defensive fourth outfielder $8 million.
I agree.
Okay.
I
Luke
agree.
Jackson. Luke, I'm not going to DFA him, Jackson, because I might need the remote controller to go up there and throw some gas can innings because I have so little faith in my starting pitching. They had to basically option Hayden Birdsong because they were afraid that maybe Luke Jackson might get used over the next couple of days because they might get blown up. And heaven forbid we DFA a guy who's been complete garbage can trash. There are garbage cans that wouldn't light Luke Jackson on fire because he stinks so bad. All right? Then we go to Wilmer Flores. Wilmer, great Giant. Honestly, I actually like Wilmer Flores. He has been utilized so horribly this year. Why you brought him back for $6.5 million, I don't know.
I actually feel bad for him.
I do too.
Because he's done a little bit of everything. He's played all over the field. His bat actually had a solid season a year ago, but if you don't have any plans for him, move him.
Okay.
Move him. Just move him.
Tyro Estrada, make it $5 million. Tyro, I like you. You're a nice guy. You're done. You're done. You and Donovan Solano, we wrung the hand towel for every drop. I like you. I don't even know what you are. You're a 4A player. I like you, but you got to go. All right, Lamont Wade Jr., he's making $3.5 million. I'm not mad at him, but he's playing first base. He's got 3 home runs, for Christ's sake. What are we doing? Then those are the top end. You got Robbie Ray making $23 million on this team because you paid Mitch Haniger one of the worst contracts in baseball. So you had to trade for a guy who hasn't thrown a pitch in 2 years.
Listen. You missed out on Aaron Judge. You signed Mitch Haniger, though. We got Mitch Haniger, though.
Yay! Alex
we got Mitch Haniger.
If I hear about the probable return of 38-year-old, I pitched well for 3 months, and a nice guy, Alex Cobb, who's making $10 million. I mean, give me a break. You know,
Alex Cobb,
Jung Hoo Lee making $8 million. Oh, and let's not forget, had to get rid of Joey Bart because I acquired Tom Murphy for $4 million a year. Had to get rid of Joey Bart. Joey Bart in one at bat has done more than Tom Murphy all season. Tom Murphy hasn't seen a field since April, okay? I mean, what are we doing? And that doesn't, by the way.
3 home runs for first base.
You paid Austin Slater $2.5 million to just go away. J.D. Davis, here's a free $1 million. Here's a free $1 million. Robbie Ray, here's another $1 million. Nick Ahmed, $500,000.
You know what's funny?
This is the worst spent $200 million in the history of payrolls. I don't ever want to hear. I watched Guru yesterday. Guru. I'm riding till the wheels fall off. Guru, we're sitting on boxes in the freaking parking lot. We got completely jacked.
Submit blocks. There's submit blocks for tires.
Mac Moll is somewhere going, I wouldn't even mess with that chassis. I'm telling you right now, this team isn't broken. There aren't wheels. It's sitting there in a parking lot. It's a carcass of what used to be a Pinto.
Hey, Shasky.
It's the worst $200 million I've ever seen spent in my life.
Shasky, listen to the.
They're done. He's cooked. Hold
on. No, he's not cooked yet. He's not cooked yet. He's not cooked yet. Let's see what happens. But no, you look at the field yesterday. And you look at the Dodgers. You just look at the Dodgers. They've got about 25 guys on the IL. They've got guys on the IL. I mean, it's galore. And then you look, guys are left and right. You don't know who's playing for the Dodgers. And yet, when you look at that game yesterday, and you look at the lineups, there's still a big-time gap between the two franchises. The gap. Okay, Mookie Betts is out. Our pitchers are out. Guys are banged up inside, up and down the lineup. You know what? That's fine. Let's just play Tia. Let's go put Hernandez at the cleanup spot. Let him go 3 for 4. Let's just go ahead and lead off with Shohei Ohtani. We got Will Smith in the 2-hole and Freddie Freeman batting 3rd. They still are light years better than the Giants organizationally. They bring up a guy we had never even heard of him, River Ryan. River Ryan went out there and shoved in 5 in the 3rd.
In his history in the minors, he's never gone that deep.
Never gone that deep.
In the history, I'm watching the pregame show. I'm one of the 8 people that is like tapped in on Giants pregame. And I'm not ripping the people that are on. I'm saying that's how boring this team is. Okay? I mean, I'd rather watch, honest to God, I'd rather watch USA basketball breakdowns than watch the Giants right now.
Listen, my guy Carlos Ramirez looking good yesterday.
74 pitches in a game. I go, well, he's going to throw the greatest game of his life today. Guarantee it. Write it up. We're going with Jorge Jorge Soler in the DH spot. They've got Ohtani, who's number 1 or number 2 in the NL in like 7 offensive categories.
So we're leading off with Soler, and they're leading off with Ohtani. Sounds like a good trade-off. They're batting Will Smith second. We got Lamont Wade Jr.'s not having a bad year. Elliot Ramos, look, I'm concerned. He's 0 for 4. I'm just saying he's 0 for 4. What is he since the break? 2 for 16? Not good. Not good. Not great, Bob.
And you got the Blake Snell.
It's coming hard.
You got the Blake Snell start, right? This is the best. You've gotten 3 great Blake Snell starts, essentially, okay? The guy still doesn't have a win this year.
And that's kind of crazy.
And no, it's not crazy. He pitched terrible early on.
He did pitch terrible, but the fact that he doesn't have a win still.
Gas.
He doesn't have a win.
This team is cooked. Any idiot out there who still thinks Farhad has a chance this 1 week was going to tell me everything I needed to know about the Giants, not the 3 months prior, not the body of work. That's like a teacher telling a student, do really well on these pop quizzes. And it'll salvage the whole season of you not doing any homework and failing every single test all year. They've been thoroughly mediocre for 3 straight seasons. And Giants fans still think, hey, if we sneak in, you're not sneaking in. You are half game above the freaking Washington
Shasky,
Nationals.
They could beat the Dodgers 3 straight. What if they do that?
They're done.
What if they do that? You sure they're done?
Farhad's done. They're done. It's over. It's over.
I thought you weren't going to get outraged about this team.
No, I am. Today's the day.
No,
because you know
today's not the day.
No, today's the day because I am sick and tired of the Farhad people who have never played catch in their life, who look at the box score. Oh, my God. Lamont Wade Jr.'s got a WRC+. Lamont Wade Jr. can't hit the ball out of the infield. He's playing first base at a premium position. They got Freddie Freeman, who's batting 290. He's got like 15 jacks.
16 jacks, 66 RBI.
Wow.
Oscar Hernandez, 21 jacks. 21 jacks, 67 RBIs.
This team is cooked.
Ohtani, 30 home runs.
Thank God you got Fitzgerald as shortstop instead of Nick Ahmed. At least you have some hope of seeing some youth do something exciting.
0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And it was a microcosm yesterday. It's the difference between a contender and a bad team. Contender and a bad team. You look at the bottom of the 8th inning, you see it. You get the double. All right, you walk Will Smith. It's a great at-bat. You get to fielder's choice, but you bring in Randy Rodriguez, and boom, he makes you pay. He makes you pay. But even in the 6th inning, right, where Hernandez – Blake Snell's pitching well. Bottom of the 6th.
He was.
He's pitching great.
He was.
But he walks Freddie Freeman. He misses with the 3-2 pitch. Fastball's up.
I thought it was
he doesn't locate it.
It
was a great at bat. Well, he got the 3-1. He got Freddie Freeman to swing on the curve. It was nasty. But you walk Freddie Freeman. And next thing you know, there's a wild pitch. There's a wild pitch. And then you get the wild pitch. And you knew that Teoscar Hernandez was going to make you pay. So you go up 2-1. When you contrast that to the Giants, when they get runners in scoring position, whether it's first or third, you get Montos up there, he strikes out. You get Matt Chapman, he goes up there, he strikes out. That's in the top of the 6th inning. That's one frame that can tell the story of the game and the difference between the two teams. One takes advantage of mistakes, the other can't take advantage of mistakes.
The first inning, Jorge Soler going first to third, and they didn't want to show it because he didn't round second hard. The left fielder bobbles the ball, and he got hosed. He got hosed at third base. I go, you know where this is going. First inning. First inning. Out of the game.
First out of the game.
Hosed. First off, that's why you don't bat Jorge Soler in the leadoff spot. You morons. You analytical idiots that are out there. Let me bat my cleanup hitter who can't run in the leadoff spot. So that way when the guy who's batting in the 2-hole gets a single, I can't even go first to third.
So let me ask you this.
Criminy.
So whose decision is this? Is this a Bobel decision? Or is it a Farhad decision? Because the Randy Rodriguez situation, I'm looking at Randy Rodriguez, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, I want Doval or Tyler Rogers. Now I get Tyler Rogers, pitched 2 of the 3 games at Coors Field. He bounced back on Sunday, had a clean inning. I'm thinking to myself, this is the game. I got to shut down the game
100%.
right here. This is the save. Let me take my chances in extras when we get the runner on second base. But you go Randy Rodriguez right there. Randy Rodriguez, everybody's coming at me saying the pitch selection. He threw 5 straight fastballs. Pitch selection. Well, I'm looking at what he did Friday night, and he got red in Colorado. Gave up a home run in Colorado. Gave up a hit and 2 runs in Colorado. I need him to bounce back in a low leverage situation, not a high leverage situation in a must-win baseball game. I got to save this game. Where's Doval? Where's Tyler Rogers? Whose decision is it? Is it a Farhan decision? Is it a Bowmel decision? We already talked about Bowmel's handling of the bullpen. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you're now 1-3 after the All-Star break. You're 1-3. And the Dodgers, they're rolling right now despite having all these guys on the IL, and they're going to be making big boy moves at some point. You know they are. But it's just a difference in where the Giants are at. There's a word for them. As we watch Jordan Hicks come on the mound today, and God bless his soul, he's been struggling. The Giants are just stale. It's stale.
That's a great way of putting it.
It's stale.
Day old bread.
It's just day old bread. The philosophy, the lack of vision. Like, you have this ballpark, and everybody complains that you can't bring in power hitters. Nobody wants to hit here in the ballpark, Shasky. Then go get me some athletes. They're the slowest. They're old. They're long in the tooth. They're not innovative.
They don't put the ball in play.
They don't put the ball in play. You got no speed. Your starting pitchers, you're blessed. Thank the heavens we're going 6. Wow, we got 6 out of Blake Snell yesterday. You're praying for 5 innings from this rotation. Your bullpen is overused. The platooning aspect of everything, the shift in philosophy needs to happen. Farhan's may leave this situation with a good farm. Who knows? Jury's still out on that. But there needs to be a shift in philosophy, for crying out loud. You have to make changes. You have to make changes after the year. This is not good baseball. It's not a good watch.
This is one of the most vulnerable Dodger teams of all time, at least of recent memory, right? And they're, 12, 13 games up on you?
Yeah, easily.
I mean...
And they're getting Kershaw back. They're getting Walker Buehler back.
You know what this is? We're the Rams and the Falcons and the Saints of the old NFC West.
Yep.
Are we not? Yep. Of the 1980s. Am I wrong? Like, you're about 500. Yeah, you're a Grand Canyon away from what the premier Super Bowl contender is. Yeah. Like, that's the equivalent. Well, when I talk to, like, old Niner fans, like, the Niners used to kick the crap out of the Dome Patrol and the Rams and all those teams in the NFC West.
They beat the Rams like 19 straight at one point, I want to say, in the 90s.
That's what the Giants are to the Dodgers.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big gap. It's a huge gap. And it's just, Shasky is just, so I'm watching the game last night. I'm watching it on my laptop as I'm going to bed. And, I'm locked in on it. I paused NCAA football to watch this game. Even though I opened the season against Alabama and I beat the hell out of them all. My team is looking good. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it in NCAA. But I watched this entire 9-inning game and I told myself, why? Why? This is a stale baseball product. And so a shift in philosophy, if you're Greg Johnson out there watching, and you're Buster Posey, who's right next to him, how can you roll this back next season? How can you roll this back with this voice? They need a new leader. Farhan's not the guy, and I've been hesitant to do Fire Farhan shows every single day. Fire Farhan shows. But it's obvious, Shasky.
You've talked a lot about money with Joe Lacob. It's like, well, I'm not going to go into the tax if you're not going to be a playoff team. Right. Why spend honest to God, this whole $200 million, why spend $200 million poorly when I could field a team for $50 million that's going to be comparable? Right. Well, you're closer to the Nats than you are any contender.
Well, you keep talking about, the $200 million that they spend. We know they have to spend it wisely.
Horrific.
It is horrific. You just look at some of these off seasons that Farhan has had with the Giants. Think about the year before. This is where he should have been fired. For the life of me, why didn't you fire him with Gabe Kapler? You had the package deal, but you allowed this guy to hire another manager. They're obviously not on the same page, Bowmel and Farhan Zaidi. Look at this. Look at the offseason before. Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $43 million, can opt out. You gave him a player option. Michael Conforto, 2 years, $36 million. Taylor Rogers, 3 years, $33 million. Sean Manaea, 2 years, $25 million. Ross Stripling, 2 years, $25 million. Jock Peterson, 1 year, $20 million. Luke Jackson, 2 for $11.5. This is the money you're spending. Without even me doing the math, that's over $160 million on these 7 players.
That no one would want.
Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto, Taylor Rogers, Sean Manaea, Ross Stripling, Jock Peterson, Luke Jackson. You spent over $150 on those guys the year prior, and he still was able to linger and keep his job. It's just stale, Shasky. I'm not getting outraged no more about the Giants. They're still product.
And here's my favorite. And everyone's like, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that. All the beat writers. You're afraid to DFA Luke Jackson for 3 days, so you're gonna option down Birdsong, and I get. All right,
he's gonna be back Saturday.
It's this whole Ross thing. No, but that's a microcosm of how pathetic they are. He doesn't have the guts. He doesn't have the guts to DFA a guy who stinks.
Yeah, stinks.
He stinks. I don't even want Luke Jackson as an option in my bullpen. You know who I'd rather see throw innings? Brett Wisely. I'd rather see Brett Wisely throw an inning than Luke Jackson, the remote controller. Because the second he comes up, I go, where's my remote controller? I got to change the channel. Luke Jackson.
You actually don't stay to watch the trade wreck?
Luke and Farhan could get DFA for all I care.
We got Bill Schmidt coming up, our guy from Green Bay.